Alright then, so I'm already recording. I have the lo-fi in the background. So let's get over with this, shall we? Hello there, trainers. Greetings. KuroBlitz here, and welcome to another video on my channel. And today I bring to you another VOD, another Blitz talk if you will. Because I have something that I would like to speak about in terms of the Pokemon anime and its future. As we all know, Ash is going to get this winter his epilogue episodes, 11 of them, and I'm going to discuss the potential for the epilogue and the potential for the new series, the Scarlet and Violet anime, allegedly, in separate videos. Having everything here would just be too bottled up. Having things in chunks and to help the algorithm, I feel like it's important. Also, Ash is an icon of this generation. His name is going to be milked to the highest degree on YouTube during this next 3 to 6 months. It's going to be Satoshi Palooza for all we know. But yeah, as we all know, Ash will not be the main character or the protagonist of the Scarlet and Violet anime. And some people are happy, some people are sad. These are all valid points to take. And I will say this. For the longest time, I always advocated that Go and Chloe should go with Ash to Paldea to basically have a second chance of basically redeeming themselves for what they didn't do in Journeys. Because what they did, it was very lackluster, like Chloe, and it was very messy, like Go. Go and Chloe are sadly going to be remembered as, you know, Max and Tracy. He was just there, and one never appeared enough. And that's basically it, sadly. They are going to be worst versions of these two characters. Which kind of makes me sad, realistically speaking. But that's basically a topic for another day. I'm also going to, discuss, their finale and whatever more. I might discuss their finale, the finale they got in Journeys in another video, so stay tuned for that one too. But yeah, I really thought that they were going to Paldea and, Go helps Arven with the treasure hunt and the Titans and the Herba Mystica. Ash would do the gems. Then again, he never did it in Galar, so what the hell was I expecting on that front? And rival Nemona, and Chloe would help Penny with Team Star and basically bust the hideouts, maybe like a transfer student, and by the end of the series she would be, student council president. I wanted for Pocket Monsters just like the original series, Kanto, Orange and Johto, to last 6 years, 2 generations, but it's not the case. They had a good finale. The finale delivered. It gels with their characters. Could have been different, yes. Could have been better, yes. Could have been, several things, absolutely. But it ended, so I feel like we should let this end. And I get it. I really, really do. Many people wanted for Ash to go to Paldea because, the Nemona having the character that she has. And, people are very intrinsic in this idea of Ash being a mentor, and I never understood why. Ash isn't a mentor. He's an inspirational piece. Ash being a mentor would mean that he would have to basically force himself to teach others, and that's not in Ash's character. Everyone learns from Ash. Ash doesn't teach them anything realistically. Everyone just absorbs them. Like how May and Max, right? They absorb that from Ash. As much BS as Unova gets and Best Wishes gets, Ash grew outside of Team Rocket. His Pokemon evolved and learned moves without having Team Rocket on a constant basis. He had criticism, positive and negative, from both Iris and Silent. They were basically the empath trio that never was, because we never got, a Team Plasma arc. A good one at the very least. And if Unova was tinkered like the games and Ash wasn't rebooted, I'm pretty sure that Ash could have ended his tenure with, Mewtwo returning and the Giovanni and the World Tournament of Black and White 2 because of Charizard and Cynthia and whatever more. They could have had Ash's ears with the 15th anniversary of Pokemon International. It would make Red in Origins kinda makes us remember, yeah, Ash will not return anymore. Maybe Serena could have been the protagonist since that point. But that's not the case. That's not the case. I know many people would like for Ash to end in I'm in a Pearl, and I get it, but you know, if Unova was different. Many people believe he should have ended in X and Y. Many people feel like they should have ended him in Sun and Moon. Like, there's always various ways for Ash to end. I will say this. If Ash battled Jimmy in the Johto League, we could have had like a Red versus Gold situation, and Ash would just be the original series character. If Ash accepted the role of Frontier Brain, Diamond and Pearl would have a time skip, Dawn would have a female Pikachu, and the protagonist would have been Max. So there's that as well, right? But yeah, Ash isn't in Paldea, and I know many people wanted for Ash to be in Paldea because of the champion rank and Nemona. Ash rivaling Nemona, it's stupid. Ash should have Nemona's role if he shows up in the next series. Because if Ash rivals Nemona, they will not do anything. It's going to be a forced Kiawe if Nemona was there. It's too much Ash, if that makes any sense. It's basically Ash and another Ash. That's a girl. No, I'm glad they didn't went with that route. I'm also super glad that they didn't went with the easy route in, you know, animate Pokespe or Adventures. So I'm super glad they are going balls to the walls and be original with this. But yeah, people need to understand that, you know, Ash in Paldea, having the champion rank in Paldea, it would be no different from Ash being a Hall of Famer in the Orange Islands and in the Battle Frontier. It would be 2 steps down from what he got in Alola and now in Journeys. While granted, Ash's champion titles, they were gained via loopholes. He was the first champion of Alola because Alola had no champion. It's like in the games. However, unlike in the games, Ash never had to re-battle the Kahunas as Elite Four members. But he did defeat Kukui, so there's loophole number 1. Loophole number 2, Ash became world champion simply because the tournament was called the World Championships, okay? If it was called the Pokemon Trainer Playoffs, it could still be the same, but we would not have the Festival of Dreams, as they would like to call it, at the butt end, with all the champions and a lot, right? Poor Rolando, Jesus Christ. Like, look at Ash. No one that Ash battled in Journeys was rooting for him. We didn't saw it. No one from Galar was rooting for Leon. It's just, you know, this lackluster moment. So, I'm glad that Ash at least won both with Pikachu. But even so, like, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? And Ash being in Paldea could have worked if he started fresh, but, you know, wouldn't it not make sense if Ash went to Paldea with the Journeys team and the Journeys team would start to be replaced one after the other? And we would get like a Johto situation, as long as you don't put Lucario in a valley like how did with Charizard. But that's a topic for another day. If Ash was to, you know, go to Paldea, right? And if he was to get a new team, like, I believe that if Ash was to challenge the gyms in Paldea, just to get, you know, just one more achievement on his pedestal, like a bigger asterisk, right? I believe this could have been the best series for Ash to basically use his reserves. Because, look at AG. In Hoenn, Ash only uses Hoenn team. In Battle Frontier, the guy used many of his reserves. So, in the end of the day, Ash used the Journeys team to become world champion. So, who the hell cares if he brings his reserves to battle the Paldea gyms, right? This could have been the perfect opportunity for Ash to reveal the Terra types of every single of his Pokemon. They could have been different. For example, in the games, you have a wild Lucario and a wild Dragonite at level 75. They are Ice Terra and it's Ice Terra for Lucario, which for Ashes would make sense because it's born in Sinnoh, right? The Ice Cold region. And Dragonite has Steel Terra, which would be cool if Ashes learned Steel Wing or Iron Head or Iron Tail to be a counter for Fairy and Ice. Gengar. My Gengar in Paldea, it's dark because of Dark Pulse and whatever, and also because I have to have a parallel to, you know, Karen from the Johto Elite Four, right? She has a Gengar, but it's, you know, the dark team. Ash's Gengar could have shown the Terra type of Fire, because he hangs out with the Fire crew, right? Even Surfetch. Surfetch had Brutal Swing and Night Slash. The first fighting move Surfetch learned was not even an offensive one, it was Detect. So that one could have been, you know, Dark Terra. They could have been done so much. Like Charizard could have had like Dragon Terra. Same for Scraggy or Snivy. They could have had like Dragon Terra with them. But I believe that, you know, they didn't want it to, you know, have Pikachu have balloons or, you know, those silly hats. Because Ash already used all of his gimmicks here. So basically showing the fourth gimmick and it was not in the PWC, it would look weird. And it would just look weird, and also because, you know, out of place. Then again, they cannot use Terrastal and Galar. I hate these gimmicks that are bound to regions. Just you watch, the third legendary is going to appear in Passio and terraform Master ZX for all we know. If Ash was to go to Paldea, I believe that he should have gotten, you know, Fuecoco. Because I really want for Go. I wanted for, you know, Go to get Quaxley and basically do the Sobble arc right. And I wanted for Koharu to have Sprigatito to basically play with Yamper and Eevee. But whatever. Now I want the opposite. I want for Go to get... I wanted for Go at these last days of journeys before the announcement. I wanted for Go to have Sprigatito. Because it's a cat like Mew, right? And it's very agile in the final form as Meowscarada, so it resembles Inteleon, and you know, it's a grass starter, so it resembles Grookey, right? And in ability, Protein, it's like Cinderace's Libero, even though his has Blaze, but it's not written as Blaze because of that fire move Atrophy as a score bunny. But yeah, I wanted for Ash to get Fuecoco, as you know, he defeated Charizard, so let him get another Fire Lizard. And you know, Fuecoco, it's like Skeledirge, it's so cool. It's actually colored Scarlet and Violet, right? So, if Ash was to use a new team for this region, and maybe, you know, it could be like the Gible fight in Diamond and Pearl. Dogtile and Donphan, they return, but Gible is the star. You could do that with these gyms. Pokemon return to Terrestrialize, but the ones that give Ash the wins in these gyms. Maybe Ash could even battle the gyms with the rematch teams from Jump, right? Maybe the gyms could have, you know, been very different and unique and basically have double battles. Like, man, the World Tournament should have had a lot of double battles. It would have been amazing for character synergy. Whatever. If Ash was to do this, the only way that could have been interesting, it would be if Ash, you know, defeated all Elite Four members in a row. But then he would have to battle Gita and battle Nemona again. And I don't trust OLM to basically have Ash win 6 battles in a row. Even though they already kind of did it with Journeys, right? And you know how much of an S-pool that is anyways, right? Marnie, Drazda, Raihan, Steven, Cynthia, Leon, right? Ash winning is with several asterisks attached to his character. So I'm glad he's gone. Even though his title is kinda dubious, let the guy depart with the headset eye, instead of, you know, having a best wishes effect all over again, right? However, I believe that, you know, every new of Ash's Pokemon, every new of his 5, they would be the MVP in every battle. I don't know, I don't want to give Ash teams, I don't want to do like, what if Ash would have used it Paldea or this and that, none of that. Because even the original bird is part electric, so Ash would have not gotten that from Jump, right? So, if Ash was to go to Paldea, I would believe that, you know, his 4 Pokemon, they would have been the MVPs against the Elite Four. Skeledirge, being the starter, he would be the MVP against Gita. Pikachu, I feel like Gita should change the things around, right? Have Pikachu battle Glimora at first, like how he battled Drake's Ditto in the Orange Islands. That way Ash would have to deal with his team all being poisoned because of toxic spikes. And then we get Skeledirge versus King Gambit, right? And King Gambit has 5 boosts because of Supreme Overlord, right? Imagine this. Skeledirge is fire, beats steel, but King Gambit is dark, beats ghost. It's basically giving Ash the Hisuian Typhlosion that he never got, right? And if Let's Go Johto was around, Ash could have gotten a better moveset for Totodile, and Totodile could have become a Croconaw, and all Johto starters would be in the middle. Or Ash could have gotten a Hisuian Typhlosion, and we would have one of each, or Bayleaf would have become a Meganium, and Body Slam would become the move return, because it's friendship based, and everyone would be in one stage, right? So it's that. Every one of Ash's Pokemon would be the MVP for every Elite Four battle, and Skeledirge could have been, you know, the one to defeat Gita, but that would leave Ash against Nemona. We know that Nemona has Paldean Tauros that she uses in the cutscene, in the opening cutscene of Scarlet and Violet, but she doesn't use it on her team. She has the Dunsparce, and I'm kinda glad, because that way I don't want for Ash to have a Dunsparce, but battling Dunsparce's evolution, that would have been cool, okay? And Ash battling a Paldean Tauros, that would have been cool too, guys. This means that the final battle will most likely have to be Pikachu versus Pawmot. For all we know, Pikachu could defeat Pawmot, but Pawmot using Revival Blessing means that Ash would technically have to battle, you know, Nemona on a 6v7, right? And I think that would be cool. It would have been interesting, but it would be like a... It's not a downgrade, because that way he would be a champion proper, according to the games, but it means that we would not have any league conferences and whatever more. For all we know, Galar characters could have showed up here, and we could have, like, you know, pocket monsters, like original series, have characters from Kanto show up in Johto and all of that, right? But yeah. However, this is if Ash was to, you know, just have a new team. I do believe that, you know, if Ash was to bring his reserves, and only his reserves, against, you know, all the gym leaders of Galar and more, I believe that this could have been a lot better. I'm going to pitch some 3v3 battles that Ash could have had against the Paldea gym leaders. So let me start. So, gym number 1, Katie, the bug gym leader. Katie would use low kicks, Spidops, and Terra Ursaring. For that, Ash would use Livani, because it's a bug type, Glalie, and Donphan. Glalie is here because of Donphan. They are both, you know, AG mons in a way, and they are spherical, right? And, you know, Donphan and Ursaring, they are rivals in a way. They are counterpart Pokemon, so I think like these could work. Gym 2 against Brassius, the grass gym leader. I believe that Brassius would use Smoliv, Petilil, and Sudowoodo, right? But Ash would use, you know, let's see, Bulbasaur, Buizel, and Snivy. Bulbasaur could have poison moves to help against these grass mons. Snivy would have Attract, so you basically battle grass with grass. Buizel would be the one to basically try to defeat Sudowoodo, but then Sudowoodo terrestrialized it, and Ash would go for Bulbasaur. So basically, you know, you have this little sense of camaraderie, right? Versus Iono, the electric gym leader, number 3. Iono would use Watrel, Bellibolt, and Mismagius, right? So I feel like if she only uses electric types, Ash should use only Pokemon from one specific type as well. And those would be fire. I feel like Ash should have, you know, Quilava, Torkoal, and Pignite. Because I think it would be very cool Quilava using Aerial Ace on Wattrel, right? Torkoal and Bellibolt having a defense battle style. Miss Magius has the upper hand on Pignite because fighting moves cannot hit her, but once she terrestrializes, then she can be hit by Brick Break and then have like a fiery finish with the Fire Pledge, right? But that's just me. Number 4, the Water Gym, Kofu. So Kofu would use Veluza, Woke Trio, and Crabominable, right? That way Ash would battle a Crabominable because, you know, Hala had Crabrawler, so there's that. It's kind of funny because Paldea and Tauros is fighting type and Hala in Sun and Moon gives you the Tauros right Pokemon. So I think that's funny. But yeah. Veluza, Woke Trio, and Crabominable. I feel like Ash should use, you know, Totodile, Corphish, and Oshawott. He uses water Pokemon to battle Kofu's other water Pokemon. Against Larry, the normal gym leader. Number 5. Larry would use Komala, the Dunsparce, and Staraptor. And I feel like Ash should use Noctowl, Staraptor, and Unpheasant. It's basically Komala battles Noctowl, Noctowl defeats Komala, enter the Dunsparce, the new evolution of Johto defeat Noctowl, Staraptor against the Dunsparce, Staraptor wins, Larry Staraptor battles Ash's Terrestrialize and beats Ash's Staraptor, even if Terrestrialization, close combat would do a lot of damage, right, on just a normal Staraptor. And then Ash's Unpheasant comes in clutch. Unpheasant should have her time to shine. And Unpheasant should have new moves. Unpheasant should have Heat Wave, U-Turn, Detect, Night Slash, you know, don't give her stab moves. Do the Gliscor treatment with this girl. Gym number 6, Psychic, and this is for Tulip. Tulip uses Espatra, Farigiraf, and Florges. So I believe that Ash should use, you know, Bayleaf, Gible, and Scraggy. Because, you know, against Florges, Bayleaf would make sense, right? Gible, you know, just, you know, biting and, you know, attacking for Farigiraf and Espatra, I think it would be cool. Scraggy, it's dark, so it's basically, yeah, they are psychic, but then they cannot harm Scraggy, so Scraggy can harm them back, right? Gym number 7, and this is a double battle, right? It's against Rhyme, the Ghost Gym leader, number 7. She would just use Houndstone and Toxtricity, okay? And because of that, Ash would use Palpitoad and Crocodile, his 2 ground types from, you know, Unova, right? And because of that, Gym number 8, Grusha, the Ice type, it's a guy, damn, they always bait us, he would use Titan, Frostmoth, and Altaria. And I believe that because of that, Ash should use, you know, Tauros, Mimey, and Boldor, right? And I just want for you guys to see the pattern that I'm going here. Donphan, Bulbasaur, Quilava, Totodile, Noctowl, Bayleaf, and Tauros, they are OS mods. Glalie, Weasel, Torkoal, Corphish, Staraptor, Gible, and Mimey, they are AG to DP mods. Mimey being, you know, the loose cannon here. Snivy, Pignite, Oshawott, Unpheasant, Scraggy, Crocodile, and Boldor, they are Best Wishes mods. So you have a mixture of OS, AG to DP, and Best Wishes. And the leftovers of Best Wishes, they go to, you know, the double battle, being Palpitoad and Crocodile. Because Ash got 9, and we don't have 9 gems, we got 8, so one of them goes to the double battle. This would be for the gems. For Team Star, I believe that the Journeys team, now that they battled their way to be world champions, I believe that the Journeys team, they could, in theory, help against Team Star and even battle the Titans. So they would battle in different ways, against villains, quote-unquote, and against, you know, totems, quote-unquote. Imagine, Ortega, the Fairy Star boss, and this would be a battle for Dragonite. Dragonite basically terrestrializing to Steel, or maybe Water, and defeating Ortega. Cloth, the Rock Titan. This would be a Gengar battle. Mela, the Team Star, the Fire boss. This would be Draco Vicious time to shine. You know, Draco Vicious just dousing that fire. Bombardier, the flying totem, Titan, whatever. This would be for Dragonite. Dragonite basically, you know, flying around and defeating Bombardier. Airy, the fighting star boss, and Earthworm, the Steel Titan. These will be both matches for Lucario, because it's fighting and steel, right? Ash could even battle Annihilate, and Lucario would defeat that guy, right? But yeah. Giacomo, it's the Dark Star Boss. I believe that Surfetch should be the one to battle this guy, because, you know, Surfetch has dark moves. Tatsugiri, the Dragon, the False Dragon Titan, and we have Dodonzo as well. This would have to be Dracovish because of Water and Dragon. Ericus, the Poison Team Star. It's easily Gengar. Focus on Gengar's Poison type, please. And for the Donphan Paradox, either being Great Tusk or Iron Treads, I feel like, you know, Surfetch should battle them. Because, you know, it's basically Surfetch either battling the fighting version, or, you know, the steel iron like the steel, the metal steel, like, you know, he battled Wigstrom. So it's basically that. So it's basically Dragonite against Ortega, Gengar against Cloth, Dracovish against Mela, Dragonite against Bombardier, Lucario against Airy and Earthworm. Imagine, for example, Earthworm digging underground and Lucario having to sense Earthworm's aura underground. That would be cool as hell. And, you know, Surfetch against Giacomo, Dracovish against Tatsugiri, and, you know, Gengar against Atticus, and Surfetch against the Paradox Donphan. That way, everyone in the Journeys team, they would have a fighting against the Titan and fighting against a Team Star Boss, okay? And now, this is where it gets interesting. For the Elite Four, okay? For the Elite Four, what I decided to do is Ash would use, you know, Ash would use Pikachu in all of the fights. The rotating Pokemon, they would be a Sun and Moon Pokemon that won him the Alola League, a Journeys Pokemon that won him, you know, the World Championships, right? So Ash's team, it's always Pikachu, an Alolamon, and a Journeysmon, and the rest rotates. How does the rest rotate? Simple. Team member number 4, it's a Pokemon from OS, from OS. Team member number 5, it's a Pokemon from AG or DP. And since we already used everyone in Unova, Pokemon number 6 would be a member from Kalos, from X and Y, okay? So, Ash against the Elite Four, my version. Against Rika, the Ground Elite Four, Ash would use Pikachu, Incineroar, Lucario, Kingler, Torterra, and Talonflame. Against Poppy, the Steel Elite Four, Ash would use Pikachu, Melmetal, Gengar, Heracross, Gliscor, and Hawlucha. Against Larry, the Flying Elite Four, Ash would use Pikachu, Rowlet, Dragonite, Muck, Swellow, and Noivern. Against Hassel, the Dragon Elite Four, Ash would use Pikachu, Naganadel, Dracovish, Snorlax, Infernape, and Goodra. And last but not least, against Geeta, Ash would use all of his aces: Pikachu, Lycanroc, Lucario, Charizard, Sceptile, and Greninja. Pikachu is the overall ace. Charizard is for OS and Best Wishes. Lucario is for Journeys, but it's a Cinnamon, so Diamond and Pearl, because Journeys was Diamond and Pearl too. Sceptile for AG, Lycanroc for Sun and Moon, and Greninja for X and Y. So as you can see, there was potential for Ash to be in Paldea. There were various avenues that they could tackle him. But I'm glad he's gone. We need this breath of fresh air from Satoshi. So I just decided to basically show this little what if he was in Paldea, because everyone does, you know, just trying to bang on the algorithm here, guys. So I really hope you like this. So more videos about Pokemon, the anime and its future, it's going to come. So make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. and I hope you like it, trainers. Farewell and an amazing journey.